Greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good, and welcome to, well, kind of a new and continuing series. We've done some videos in the past about how to mod your teams. I'm going to pick it up the pace here. We've been talking about mods a lot lately on this channel. We are going to accelerate into how to mod. Basically, we're going to get to every team in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and today we're looking at, right in front of your eyes, the First Order with a special emphasis on that primary team, which is going to be Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's team. Now, let's start with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and how you're going to mod him. It is almost universally accepted that you're going to be looking at a speed set with a crit damage triangle and offense cross. That are the main, and then you really want, I have protection here. You really want health here if at all possible. They lose their protection. You try and get help, but whatever. I sacrificed it for the speed. You will find that as I go through these videos, I don't always have the ideal mods on all my characters because I'm working on my mods, and my mods are a work in progress, WIP, so to speak. But, and you can see I don't have a lot of speed on this speed offense cross. Do I have any speed offense crosses out there? Let's take a look here because I need something that's got more speed on it. Sort them by speed. Yep. What do I got? That is at 11. That's at 9. I can probably fiddle with these a little bit and I can play with that. So yeah, I've got him modded right. I could definitely use some more speed on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Basically, the idea is that you want him taking as many turns as possible because he is going to be siphoning mastery from his opponents. And the more mastery he siphons, the more damage he does, the harder he is to kill. Everything gets better about Supreme Leader Kylo Ren when he siphons. And then you want to get to his ultimate as fast as possible because not only is he invulnerable when he gets there, or immune to damage immunity, I guess, is he can't be damaged. He also is going to be double siphoning while he's in his ultimate. So yes, speed and offense and crit damage is the way to go with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Number 2 on this team is Kylo Ren Unmasked. He's your second most important character on this, let me get rid of this filter here, but your second most important character on this team 100% is Kylo Ren Unmasked. And he's going to want a lot of health and defense, and I do have this modded right. Speed is really secondary on him. The one thing it would be nice to have speed with him is his unresistible stun or irresistible stun that works on everybody in the game except Chrysanthemum and Galactic Legends. Apparently, Chrysanthemum can't stun. Anyway, there are other characters. I'm just kind of complaining. But you want a bunch of health and defense on him. He becomes super survivable, and the reason is in his kit. If you look down here at Scarred, whenever he takes damage, he recovers 8% health. That's the most important thing on that ability. Of note here on Kylo Ren Unmasked, you don't necessarily need either of his Zetas if he's going to be working under Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Old school gaming, you're gonna have both of his Zetas on there, his leader and his Scarred. The Scarred would give him he's one of the earliest pre-taunts in the game and double counter chance. And whenever he hits with his basic, if the enemy is debuffed, he gains taunt. But this isn't a kit video, but you want him modded for as much health and defense as you can get because he recovers 8% health every time he takes damage. Coming up next on the team is gonna be General Hux. And we're gonna focus on this Supreme Leader Kylo Ren team. We'll be skipping Kylo Ren here in a moment, but we'll talk about that here briefly. General Hux, just speed, and then speed, and then possibly some more speed. All this stuff is secondary. It doesn't really matter. Honestly, if I had my druthers here, I probably would put more health and protection on him or defense, something to keep him alive a little bit longer. But, you know, Tenacity's not so bad. This is... I don't really like crit chance mods in general. They don't do a lot for my roster, so I got one with a good amount of speed on here. I threw it on Hux. I'm just making him as fast as I can. I need to revisit these mods. I haven't looked at these mods in a while, so I need to get General Hux faster than I've got him. So it's all about speed. Everything else is secondary. Let's take a look at another character here that's always on the team, and that's going to be Sith Trooper. Sith Trooper is going to be resetting his cooldowns, and if ever anybody dies, that means he gets to do an AoE whenever anybody dies on the team, and that AoE feeds into Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's ultimate. Sith Trooper is going to be modded for offense or crit damage. You can mod him for offense or crit damage either way. You really want as much offense and crit damage on him as you can get. I really do need to revisit these mods. My mods on this team are not very special at all. And yet I'm still getting things done with this team. So Sith Trooper is just all about offense, all about damage, maybe crit damage. That'll be your secondary option there. Next, we have the fifth spot, kind of goes between two characters. It's been a discussion point on this channel for quite some time. First Order Officer is one choice, and we have teams and guilds and players that want to have him faster than Hux. People like to have him faster than Hux because what First Order Officer does, and again, this is all going to be speed. Nothing else is going to matter with him. When you're on the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren team, your only goal is to get as many turns as possible for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, which is what First Order Officer does with his second ability. Target other ally gains 100% turn meter and advantage for 2 turns. People like to make him faster than Hux. So Kylo Ren comes out of the gate and he stabs and he stuns somebody. First Order Officer gives Kylo a turn, then he sweeps, then Hux goes back because Hux has a turn meter swap as well. Actually, I think it's a bonus turn or target, grant that ally a bonus turn. So it's not turn meter, it's bonus turn. So if they're, as long as they're not dazed or anything, you can do the First Order Officer. This works regardless. But then Hux resets all the cooldowns if he has advantage. And then Kylo goes back and does the stab and the sweep again. So people put First Order Officer before Hux so you can stab and sweep twice. You can go Hux first. I'll get 2 stabs right off the bat. Honestly, I think there's a lot of 6 of one, half dozen of the other, but you could do First Order Officer faster if you want. The other 5th member instead of First Order Officer on that team would be First Order Stormtrooper. You just want as much health and protection and defense as you can get on him. He really wants a lot of protection just to keep that on there. I don't know if he's got any protection recovery per se. I haven't looked at his kit. It's been a while since I looked at this kit. I probably should have studied before I came in. He's going to be calling an assist there. Here, I don't even have his Omega on. Done. Okay, there we go. Dispels all debuffs and gains advantage. Yeah, he's not recovering. So just a bunch of health and protection and defense is what you want. Make him as tanky as possible. Now we're going to get to Rey Darkside here in a little bit, but she's going to be replacing probably First Order Officer or First Order Stormtroopers. Those won't be on the team anymore. We're going to look at her last on this video. So stay to the end, everybody, so you can watch me talk about Rey Darkside because I'll have her in a couple of weeks. That'll be fun. Now let's go back and talk about the rest of the roster here. Kylo Ren. Now this is going to be kind of an important mod set. You don't use Kylo Ren that much in the game, which is kind of disappointing because in the early game, he was a super important character at the very beginning of this game, but he may fit onto your Phasma team if you got the Phasma Omicron for Territory Wars. That may be where you drop Kylo Ren. He can do some solo stuff early on against some teams, but regardless. So if you're going to have some modding on Kylo Ren, you want to just have him, and again, I'm not that worried about his mods. This should change. I need to change this because you don't want crit damage on Kylo Ren. You want to, and really potency is kind of okay. You want to have him with as much offense as possible. And the reason for that is when he does this AoE, this lash out, deal physical damage to all enemies and gain retribution. This attack cannot critically hit. And you can see I don't really have all the upgrades on my First Order team. I don't really use anybody outside of my SLKR team. I'm not using all that much these days, quite honestly. So take that or leave it, whatever you want. But yeah, so he doesn't critically hit with that AoE, and it gives everybody turn meters, so you want to have offense on him. Captain Phasma, if you're going to be using her with her Zeta and her Omicron for Territory Wars, and I can't spare a Zeta on Captain Phasma right now. I got other things to worry about than a Zeta on Captain Phasma. Regardless, you really want to have her with a speed set, maybe with some crit damage and some potency to land the speed downs that she does with her AoE. First Order Special Forces, just offense or crit damage, maybe against some potency for his stun. First Order Executioner is going to be all about crit damage or offense, and really about health. He does stack up. Let's see here. He has bonus offense equal to 5% of his max health, and every time he does this, he stacks health, right? He gains 40% turn and 20% max health until he defeats an enemy. So the more health you have on him, the more damage he does. I kind of like to go with a health set with crit damage here on him, but again, he doesn't really have a lot of utility in the game at the moment. Maybe on that Phasma team for Territory Wars. First Order TIE Pilot is just going to be all offense and damage. And for those of you applying the Zeta and the Omicron to First Order TIE Pilot, please don't do it. I know it might help you very early in Grand Arena. It's going to be gone. It's going to be completely useless by the time somebody gets a Wampa. Literally. So I just don't like upgrading this character at all. I am basically in the game right now, pretty much just using Supreme Leader Kylo Ren Unmasked, Hux and Trooper, and then First Order Officer or First Order Stormtrooper. The other ones maybe in specific, like if I got to do some Phasma stuff or whatever, but mainly it's that top team. Now let's talk about Dark Side Rey, who are about to get unlocked here very, very soon on the roster. I think she's going to either want an offense set or a speed set with offense. And the reason I look at that, we'll kind of see how much damage she does. I don't know how much damage she's going to be doing, but one of these is true damage. Let's see here. Deal true damage to all enemies split among them. So when I see true damage, you know, this is kind of like Light Side Rey's ultimate right here is what this is. Dealing true damage to all enemies split among them. That makes me think offense, 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 and not crit damage. Now we're going to find out. I think the two possible sets on her will be an offense set with as much offense as possible and just health and stuff to keep her alive, whatever. But she can't be targeted. What's her deal? She can't be targeted. She's untargetable until all enemies have taken a turn or are defeated. Yeah, that's not... So, first round, you can't target her the first round. Whatever. You might want to be keeping her alive, so maybe some health on there, maybe some protection. The other thing I look at with regard to speed on her is that she does load Kylo's ultimate. I think it's this one. If Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is the ally in the leader spot, he gains 10% ultimate charge. That might be why you want to have some speed on her, just to gain that 10%, that ultimate charge on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. And this ability, if there's any version of Kylo Ren in the allied leader slot, they all recover 50% health and protection and gain speed up for 2 turns. I kind of think you might want to have a speed set with offense on her. That might be the way to go. That might be what we're looking at, just to get her to use these abilities as often as possible. Because that speed is, and maybe I'm missing something here. It's entirely possible. I do miss things from time to time, but we will see when we get her on the roster here in a couple of weeks, or 2 weeks from now, we'll have her on the roster and we'll play a Grand Arena. We'll have some fun. I'll get her fully upgraded. Let's go. So there you go. There is Dark Side Rey, and that is how you're going to mod your first order with an emphasis almost entirely on the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren team. And it's a team that I need to work on. My mods are not looking too sharp here. This is not very exciting mods, even though, you know, with him it's just resetting turns. My Hux isn't very fast, so I could work on some of these mods, although the team seems to be working for me. And as I always say, in all game modes, when you look at your mods, when you look at your gear levels, when you look at your Zetas, if the team is working for you at the state of the game that you're at right now, you probably have done enough and you're doing okay, even though you could improve that team. That's all we got for today. I hope that everybody has a great day. I will definitely talk to all of you very soon. And of course, always remember, Nooch too good.